Hey guys, it's Melissa here from melissaoatman.com. If you are joining me for the first time, I just want to welcome you. This is a daily podcast devoted to spirituality and self-improvement. If you are a loyal listener, I want to thank you again for listening to my podcast. So today's episode is all about using your gifts to show up as you authentically are in the world. We have all been given natural abilities and talents, and many of us are not using them. And so the message that I received from Spirit today was that some of us really need to be stepping into our power, into our personal power. And it's all about how you can use your own natural talents to make an impact in the world. And the impact doesn't have to be something huge. It can just be some talent that you're using locally that helps others. And for many of you, I know you're going to say to me, I don't have any talent. And I'm going to tell you that's a lie. Everyone was born with some kind of gift. Now, I drew some cards for you from the Goddess Oracle deck again by Colette Baron Reed, and I want to read them to you as I'm going through the reading today because I think that they have really interwoven into the story pretty well. The first card is Benzai 10. It's all about beauty, and the message is you are at your most lovely when you are being yourself. The Japanese goddess of beauty reminds you that knowing, accepting, and honoring yourself as a spiritual being in a physical body requires self-care. Now is the time to support yourself by surrounding yourself with beauty and choosing to see its power in every aspect of your life. If you can commit to doing that, you will be amazed at how much more beauty arises to greet you. Open your eyes to the wonder everywhere, even in the most unexpected places. Beauty waits to be discovered. Consider this before you turn away from a person, place, or thing. Beauty is everywhere. It's your time to find it, and this goddess will help you. So why I think it fits in here with the first part of what I'm talking about is because within you is a talent that others will see as beautiful because your talent is serving the highest good of those around you. And let me give you an example. Before I was, a healer and had gone on that journey, I'm a teacher first and foremost. And someone might say, well, I'm a teacher, but, what good is that really doing? Well, it makes a difference for the students who are in my classroom, right? It has a lasting effect. Someone else may be a secretary and they may say, well, what is that doing for anyone else? Well, you're affecting the people that you work with. You're helping make someone else's job easier. You're bringing beauty to your job by being the beautiful light that you are, smiling and being a friendly person. Believe me, that makes a difference. It makes a difference when you have to go to a secretary and they're really nice and sweet and kind, or you go to a secretary and they look like they're going to rip your head off if you ask for anything. It makes a huge difference. So you're making a difference with what you're contributing in the way that you're contributing it. And it is possible that you even have deeper gifts and talents than what you're using right now. Many of us do. And so it's time for us to awaken to those gifts and powers that we have, to step into the light, to step into our power, and to be there for others. Because when we're using our gifts and our talents, we're actually affecting the collective in a positive way. We're contributing as a whole society. When we all work together, can you imagine how much better things would be if everyone were really truly being themselves and really being in the light? It would be amazing what we would contribute to society. So I want to read the second message now because I think that this has a lot to do with it. It talks about communication. And this is Iris. Clarity in communication is called for as your words will have great impact on others right now. And this is what I'm talking about. Some of you, and I know that I'm channeling this message for someone out there, is supposed to be writing. Someone is supposed to be communicating, whether it is public speaking, I don't really know. someone is being called on to share their story. And the thing is, you're being called to share your story to be authentically you. As I talked about when I did the podcast on toxic relationships, that my mentor and also spirit was saying, you have to be yourself and you actually have to share your story because people are going to connect with that. In the same way, you have to be authentically you and share your stories because people will connect with that as well. So it's a wonderful time to start writing that book, telling new stories and sharing your experience, your strength, and your hope with others. You have everyone's ear, so choose your message wisely. Others will also desire positive and fruitful communication with you. So get ready for some amazing new opportunities to come from these discussions. Just remember to stay open and be clear about expressing your deepest desires. Always speak with integrity. Express your kindness and respect for yourself and others. The Greek messenger goddess Iris is thrilled to help your words take flight. Communication improves in all of your relationships when she comes to visit. Most important, however, Iris reminds you of the communication you have with the universe. You are in a mutual dialogue, and now is the time to pay attention to the signs and omens in your life. Trust this important yet subtle communication. It will never lead you astray when you listen and act accordingly. So some of you, I feel like, may be getting hints and nudges and signs from the universe telling you that you're supposed to be writing or that you're supposed to be teaching others or speaking publicly, whatever it is. Some of you are getting that gentle nudge and some of you are choosing to ignore it. But you cannot hide from the universe. The universe is going to continue nudging you until they push you way out of your comfort zone. So if you're getting those gentle nudges now, you might want to consider listening to them. Because what I know from my experience is that if you don't listen to the universe will bring about a tower moment to make sure that they have your full attention and to make sure that you go in the right direction. Because when we continue going down a path that isn't meant for us, something happens to shift us, to move us on a different course. And I like to call those tower moments because in the traditional tarot deck, the Tower card is the card we get when something happens that shakes up our whole life. It doesn't necessarily have to be bad. It could be a good thing. It could be a new job coming along that just takes you on a different path. But many times it is something bad that happens because it's something that's going to totally shift your life. For me, the Tower moment was a breakup, and that totally shifted my perspective. It shifted what I started to do with my life, how I looked at things. That was a Tower moment for me, but it changed everything. At the time, I didn't think it was a good thing. Now I know it was a great thing. It was awesome because where I was not where I was supposed to be. But I would have just been happy moving right along, doing the things that I'd always done because why not? It was going fine. There was nothing bad with my life, but there wasn't anything truly awesome with my life at that time either. I wasn't doing what I should have been doing. I don't mean that with I have awesome kids and things like that. I just mean I wasn't living my life's purpose. This is what I'm trying to say. And the universe said, well, there's one way to get her to do that. That's pull the rug out from under her feet. So that's what happened. And it totally woke me up and then steered me in the right direction, which is where I am now. And that is going to happen to you if you aren't listening to these gentle nudges. The oh-so-gentle nudges are going to become like jabs in the ribs if you don't pay attention. So watch for signs. You may be getting synchronicities. These cards are another sign for you, but you may be hearing everywhere you go. You may be hearing people talk about writing books or being an author or being a speaker, or whatever it is that you want to do. You're hearing people talk about it. That is your nudge from the universe to get moving. Not to stay in your comfort zone for too long, because otherwise they're going to bring about a tower moment to get you moving. If you start doing it yourself, things will go much easier for you. It's like when your parents used to say when you were younger, if you just tell the truth, it's going to be a lot nicer for you. Will go a lot easier for you on your punishment if you just tell the truth. Well, same thing with the universe. If you just listen to them the first time, If you just take the subtle hints they're trying to drop to you, it's going to be a lot smoother for you. The transition will be. Otherwise, it's just going to be a giant rug pulled out from under your feet moment. So be listening and looking for those signs. And I know there's someone I'm speaking to directly because somebody needed to hear that. The universe is telling you, you can't get around it. You know you're supposed to be writing your book. You know you're supposed to, maybe you wrote it and now you're just sitting there with this book and you haven't done anything with it. The universe is telling you, get it to a publisher. Start shopping around. Yes, it may seem like a daunting task, but the universe is divinely guiding your steps. And you may find that the universe, in a magical way, pops up with, when you go to look for publishers, a certain publisher that just happened to show up out of nowhere. It's amazing how those things can happen. So don't delay. Take that hint and go get your book published. All right. So I think this is so funny. The universe is amazing with their timing and everything. The third card that I pulled for you is Hecate, and it's the in-between. You are standing in the liminal spaces between what was and what will be, who you have been and who you are becoming. The Greek goddess of crossroads and the in-between, Hecate, welcomes you to her domain and reminds you that neither place is your home. And you're being tasked to carefully choose the direction of your thoughts, feelings, beliefs, and actions. Now is not the time for hasty action or stubbornness, but a fierce self-inventory. Bless the past for what it has provided and release all attachments to the stories of what was. Now is the time to understand the responsibilities required of you as you move forward into a new version of yourself that is as yet unformed. Who do you want to become? What kind of life are you prepared to live? And how will you wisely yield your power to co-create a new world beneficial for others, not just yourself? You have the magic pulsing through you and calling you to answer. Say yes and step into the unknown to discover what is not yet to manifest. As soon as you do, the goddess Hecate will bring her eternal torch to light your way. So I love that. Again, we're talking about co-creating and stepping forward to use your gifts to help the whole collective. And maybe it's time to evaluate what it is you want to do and where you want to go. But you're being called now. The universe is saying, all right, move your feet. We talked about this. I've been giving you signs. You know you need to move forward and you need to share your gifts. For many of you, you may be feeling a calling. You may know that you need to be doing something. You're just not sure what it is. And I understand that completely. It's not uncommon at all to feel like you should be doing something bigger than what you are, but not really sure what it is. One of the ways that we can get in touch with what our purpose really is to do a meditation, a guided meditation, or you can just sit in meditation and ask your guides, what is the purpose here? What am I supposed to be doing? What is my life's purpose? And again, some of you, it takes more practice because you're not used to doing that. But when you sit in stillness and you ask questions, the more you do this, the easier it gets to hear the guidance. But the guidance will come. You just have to be patient with yourself. And many people think that when they sit in stillness and things come to them, they think that it's their own ego, their own thoughts giving them the answers. But I'm here to tell you that it's not. When you practice this and you sit in stillness, the rule is the first few seconds is your intuition. And what's after that is generally our ego trying to make sense of what came to us. So I would get in the habit of getting a journal. Or, if you don't have a journal, just use a notebook for now, a piece of paper and a pen. And as you sit in stillness and you ask for guidance, write down what pops into your head. We all channel differently with the universe. For me, it's just a knowing. It's a thought that pops into my head, or just a knowing. And for some people, they hear things. Other people, they see things. We all connect differently. And you will begin to know how you connect to your intuition and how you connect to your higher power, whether that's source, God, whatever you want to call it. When you start doing this practice, you will start picking up on more and more. And I think for many of you, you've been getting guidance, but you're either not listening or you're thinking that this is just something that you're making up because you feel like it's something you want to do and you're making it up and it's not something that's been divinely guided. But I'm here to tell you, when something is meant for you, you will get this calling in your soul. It's like you just know it's the truth. You just know it's something you have to do. You can't really explain why, you just know it is. And when we ignore that, we're ignoring that calling. Your body can have a reaction to that too. It can manifest in physical ways. You can, if you're ignoring what you really know you're being called to do, you might feel off. You may feel depressed, you may feel anxiety, you may feel physically sick, like getting colds and things like that all of the time, or it can manifest as other illnesses too. Oftentimes, it's just our soul knows the truth. We know what we should be doing, and our ego is telling us to shut up and to ignore it, and that's just us, and it's not really being divinely guided, but it is. It truly is, and you can only ignore it for so long. But I know that one of the reasons many of you just aren't moving your feet is that you're scared. It's fear holding you back because you're afraid of what other people will think of you. I mean, I would be willing to bet that there are people out there who love this podcast, but they don't really want to share it with other people because they're afraid of what other people might say to them or think about them if they hear someone talking about some of the things that I bring up sometimes. I totally get that. But here's the thing. You can only hide from the truth for so long. And you cannot hide forever. You can't run. You are being called. And if you do not step forward into your truth, your body's going to react. It's not going to be a nice one. And for many of us, I think when we don't take care of the emotional stuff, we don't take care of what we know we should be taking care of, it manifests in physical ways. But I'm getting the message that some of you know that there's something you should be doing. For some of you, it's writing a book. For some of you, it might be leaving situations or jobs that aren't serving you to move on to better things because you're afraid of leaving the security of what you have. And you're being called to do that. And the universe is saying, we're giving you signs. And we're giving you signs not only that you need to do it, but we're giving you signs that it's going to be okay if you do, that we have your back. Remember, we talked about this. The universe always works behind the scenes on our behalf. We just have to learn to let go and trust that. We have to practice getting into the vibration of what it is we desire, to the point that the desire supersedes the vibration of doubt. And when our vibration reaches that vibration of desire and it becomes greater than our doubt, that's when the magic happens. But for some of us, we're still in that vibration of doubt. We want to try something, but we're just not sure it's going to work out. When I started on this journey, when I created a podcast, I tell you this all of the time, but it's true. When I started this podcast, I had like maybe 5 followers, and I thought nobody's going to listen. I was amazed to have 5 followers. I was overjoyed to have 5 followers, and nobody's going to want to listen to me. What do I have to say? How are people going to relate to me? What makes them listen to me or think that I'm an expert or I know anything? Because it was all that self-doubt. And if I had let that doubt creep in and take over, you wouldn't be listening to me today. I would have quit a long time ago. But I had this desire that far outweighed the doubt. And I knew that it was something that I had to do. I didn't know why. And explaining to my family why I was doing this, that was fun. Like, why are you doing this daily podcast? Okay, like they just kind of looked at me like, that's a cute hobby. That's so cute. Yeah, go do your podcast. At first. And then they listened to it. And then they were like, oh, now I see why you're doing this. That you had a really good message. What you're doing is helping people. But if I were to rely on others' opinion of me and making sure that my family was on board with me before I did this, it wouldn't have happened. I still have some people when I say I wrote a book and I'm working on getting that published who look at me like I have a third eye, which I really do, but looking at me like, what are you talking about? What do you mean you wrote a book? And the next question is always, what's it about? You know, that condescending, like, what in the world could you have written about that people would even give a care, right? You know what I'm talking about. And then I tell them what I wrote the book about. I say, it's my journey of surviving a toxic, abusive marriage and being a single parent, getting on the other side of that. And then it's like, oh, that sounds interesting. But if I were to wager everything on that first reaction that they had, I'd be like, oh, no, I don't think I want to write this book. I do not care. And that's one of the most powerful things you can do, is to not care. It's difficult, but it's powerful. Because when we don't care what others think about us, we're stepping into our personal power. We're being authentic, we're being true. That's when the miracles are going to start happening. And I'm going to give you, again, just a quick rundown of angel numbers, because you might be seeing this, and this might be a sign for you. But if you're seeing 222, that's a reminder to keep the faith, stay focused on what you want, not on what you don't want. Stay focused on the positive, what you want to see happen, because everything is working out according to divine will for your highest good. If you see 444, I see this one a lot. I see 222 a lot. It says, you are surrounded by angels in large numbers now. You're on earth for a very important reason, and that is to remember that you are love and to extend this love to all that is. But the most important thing is that angels are surrounding and protecting you now. If you see 333, that's the divine number. It's a reminder that the divine, the angels, and the ascended masters are working with you on a number of levels to make your dreams a reality. Get clear about what you want, ask for help, and take action to co-create a beautiful life experience. Some people see 888. That's be ready for changes to unfold, knowing that ultimately they are aligning you with increased prosperity and abundance. 888 is a reminder from your angels that when you embrace changes, opportunities and ideas that you have now will positively impact your life. If you see 999, again, calling you to embrace the changes happening within you and around you so you can get to work on your life purpose. This is also a sign that you're a light worker and that it's time to take steps to live in alignment with your authentic soul purpose. If you see 555, it means big changes are occurring in your life or have recently occurred. Your angels and guides want you to know that you are as safe as these changes take place. And of course, the biggie, seeing 1111, is a manifesting number. It's a call for you to wake up, remember your path, and you are manifesting very quickly right now. You will be realizing new ideas. If you see 777, it's a call to release your fears, let go of control, find your inner strength. So there are a lot of messages that might be coming to you. Keep your eyes open for them. And the biggest thing is you'll feel a pull or a calling in your soul to do the thing that's going to, what I personally think, light your soul on fire. Because when you find the thing that makes you very passionate, it is like igniting your soul. You just feel it deep within your soul. You know this is what you are meant to do. And everything falls into place. When you are divinely guided and you're trusting the universe, you know that everything's always working out perfectly. Just keep telling yourself that. Everything's working out perfectly for me. Remember, faith is not about everything turning out okay. Faith is about being okay no matter how things turn out. And know that you're shifting. You're not the same person you used to be. Sometimes that means letting go of that which doesn't serve us. So what are you being called to do today? I would invite you to really look at yourself, look at your life, and understand if you have a higher calling and a higher purpose, it's time that you start answering that. Start stepping into your own power, being who you were called to be. The universe has your back. If you need help, you can always call on your spiritual team. They always want to help us. They just have to know we need it. All right, guys. Well, that was a little heavy, but somebody needed that message today. I truly, truly know Spirit was giving me that message for someone in particular. So probably more than one person. But I hope that this resonated with you. If you need help figuring out what that purpose is, you can always work with me. We can do coaching, and we can try to figure out where you're supposed to be. If you feel like you've gotten off track somewhere in life and you're just not even sure what to do, we can try to get you back on track. So if you need anything from me, Reiki, intuitive coaching, card readings, all of that stuff is on my website. You can find the link to my website in the description of this podcast. Go there, check it out. You can always contact me. All of my contact information is also in the description of this website. Feel free to contact me anytime. And if you like this podcast, please subscribe. Please share it with others. Please leave stars on iTunes or wherever you're listening from. If there's a rating or review system, please leave a review. That helps me out so much because the more reviewed it gets, the more it gets out and it's easier for people to find me. And my mission is to help as many people as possible heal. So in just doing that small thing of reviewing this for me, you're helping me in my life mission and my life purpose. So I really, really appreciate that. I love and appreciate all of you. So glad you're part of my tribe. As always, I hope you have a fabulous day. I am sending you massive love and light, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.